It's 11:30 a.m. here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and San Jose, California. No, it's only 8:30 a.m. in San Jose, California. And this is news that you can use from CarEdge for Friday, May 10th, with your host, me, Ray, and, well, the kid we're keeping in the dark, Zach. It's so dark there, I can't even tell if you're handsome today.
All right, I'm handsome, Pops. Don't give me a hard time. We'll be back to normally scheduled 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern on Monday of next week. But until then, today's show is brought to you by us, CarEdge.com. We've got the car search, the car buying service, car buying tools. If you need to sell a car, we can help you with that, the warranty, protection, and everything in between. CarEdge.com/careers. We're always looking for awesome people to join our team. Dad, we have the latest.
Can I join? Can I join? Can I get it? I'm sorry.
You're on the team, man.
Okay.
You are the team. You put the team on your back. We have the latest new vehicle inventory data from Cox Automotive. So for those of you that might be new to the channel, we talk about the auto industry every single freaking day. And the auto industry, the car market has been resetting. That's been going on for what would you say, the past 8 months, year even now, Dad?
Yeah, probably a year.
And one of the most important things that we track day in and day out is new vehicle inventory. And so it's actually kind of good news for the industry. Little changed at 2.86 million. But when we start to dig into the numbers, which we'll do in just a moment, there are some brands that have an immense oversupply. And we're seeing that actually materialize in some really big savings out there. Car dealership guy just posted this: new cars with the biggest discounts in Q1. Discounts are defined as a percentage change from MSRP versus the average final selling price. Look at those numbers.
Here, let me help. Not where I live. I haven't seen anything like that where I live. Of course, I haven't actually tried to buy a car to find out if I can get that discount, but it's not happening where I.
You're still, don't go there. Be positive today. Please be positive. Do not mock our audience and community. Be positive.
Yeah. So is this like actual living proof that at least somewhere in America, not in any of our viewers' neighborhoods, but somewhere in America, the average transaction prices are going down on certain brands and certain models? Is that what this is?
Dude, you're killing me. I don't know why you have to take shots at everyone every single day.
Because that's who I am.
Yes, I think that's exactly what we're seeing, Dad. The days supply nationwide for new cars is currently at a 75 days supply. Okay, so it's barely up from last month inventory and days supply. For those of you that are unfamiliar, the amount of new cars in inventory used to be less than 900,000 vehicles. That's when the chip shortage was at its height. That's when the dealer addendum stickers were at their height, their add-ons, everything like that. And so now that we're at 2.86 million, which is up just a touch from last month, we are tracking back towards where this industry was pre-pandemic, where a lot of people were able to negotiate really good car deals.
And pre-pandemic, just so people understand, the average available new car inventory on a monthly basis, either on hand or incoming, was somewhere between 3.4 and 4 million vehicles. And during the height of the pandemic, most manufacturers said, we're never going back to the old days. We are going to manage our production and our inventory levels better than we ever had. We are going to be build to order. And as Zach was saying, at a certain point in time, average new car inventory available was less than 900,000 vehicles a month. Lo and behold, less than 3 years later, we're knocking on the door to 3 million cars a month again. Seems to me that those very manufacturers who said we're not going to overbuild, we're only going to build to order, we're going to keep inventory levels low, well, that sounded good at the time, but it's not what they're actually doing.
Yeah, look at the chart, man. Look at the chart. October 2021, 886,000 new cars in dealer inventory. December 2022, 1.8 million. Since January, we've been over 2.6 million. February was 2.8. Then we were at 2.74 in March, 2.77 in April. And then here we are in May at 2.84 million vehicles. I think, Dad, this is more proof this week. What have
Yeah.
we been talking about in the used car market? How prices are going down. What's
Yes.
happening in the new car market? Prices are going down. The two play off of each other significantly. Yesterday, 59% of the gains that have been had in the used car market, wholesale used car market, have been given back in
Yes.
price declines. Used car inventory is not necessarily growing, but new car inventory is growing. Both are, that's going to have a downward impact on both new and used cars. And it's super interesting. Even though the data is not necessarily that crazy, it continues to show the trend of, okay, the market is kind of healing. This industry is healing.
I am looking forward, and maybe it'll be June, maybe it'll be July. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to when that number suddenly hits the 3 million barrier again. We are well on our way to moving back to where things were pre-pandemic. And pre-pandemic, normal manufacturer incentive spend as a percentage of the new vehicle transaction price stood at just under 12%. Today, that number's up to about 5.8, maybe closer to 6%.
Yep.
I would suspect as we get closer to a 3 million plus monthly available new vehicle inventory, that we will see incentive spend as a percentage of the transaction price once again north of 10%. So, for those of you who don't think prices are coming down, A, they are. B, my suspicion is they will be coming down even further as we get into the summer months, and as many of the manufacturers start to tool up for the 2025 model year. So be patient. Be patient. Later this summer, you should be able to get even better deals. And I know there's people there are no deals now. There are. Our team finds them every day.
Look at this
are out.
Suzanne Gill. Last weekend, I was finally able to get a decent deal on a new RAV4, $3,000 under MSRP on a Toyota product, folks. Whoa!
It's out there. You just have to work at it. If you are going to base your conclusions that there are no deals just looking at the asking prices, a dealer's foolish not to ask all the money because, well, you just might walk in and agree to pay it. They will indeed, in many, many cases, negotiate with you. Though we're back to the old song and dance. Well, if I could, would you? What price were you thinking? What do we have to do to make a deal today? Come on, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. What do I have to do to make a deal with you today? What's it going to take to get you to go home in your new car today? Those are phrases that are being uttered every day by salespeople and sales managers at dealerships all across the country. But they're only being uttered to the people who are literally in the dealership actually trying to buy the car.
I will throw it out there. In the dealership is also virtual. Go use the email templates. You do not have to step foot in a dealership to buy a car nowadays. So I just want to toss in a little, anecdotal evidence that we see day in and day out.
We do it every day.
Yeah, we do it on behalf of customers. We don't actually
every day
go to the dealership. So, yeah. All right, Dad, I want to talk a little bit more about oh man, it's a little early here on the West Coast. Just some dimensions of this data. One example of newfound stability from the article in Automotive News: inventory by sticker price. Vehicles that were $30,000 to $40,000 continue to have the tightest supplies at 59 days, while the supply of vehicles priced under $20,000 stood at 66 days. Again, the average for the industry right now is 75 days. Vehicles between $20,000 and $30,000 had a 67-day supply. All three categories were unchanged. Less days supply of inventory for sub $40,000 vehicles. That is not shocking by any stretch.
No. So what that indicates to me is, and I know, there's lots of people out there that say, hey, we got to have cars below 20 and we have to have cars below $30,000. And I have said ad nauseum that I think what is at least for manufacturers and a vast majority of the public, considered affordable today is in the $30,000 to $40,000 price range. Those stats that you just shared bear that out. The $30,000 to $40,000 price range vehicles have the shortest day supply. They are selling quicker by by what, 10, 11 days, than sub $20,000 cars and the $20,000 to $30,000 cars. So even though a large swath of the public says we need cars under 20,000, under 30,000, the vast majority of Americans still feel that affordable to them is the $30,000 to $40,000 price range, or the upper 20s to $40,000 price range, which indicates to me why some manufacturers, Mazda for one, are doing as well as they're doing. Subaru as another, doing as well as they're doing. Honda doing as well as they're doing. And to some degree, Toyota doing as well as they're doing.
All right, one more piece of data, and then we will switch gears. Among the 7 automakers reporting monthly sales and inventory, Ford remained the only one with more than a 2-month supply of vehicles. Now, Toyota and Subaru were on the other end of the spectrum. They actually had a contraction. They had a lower days supply month over month. Volvo, Mazda, Hyundai, Kia saw their days supply increase month over month, and Honda stayed flat. So this is great insight and information. If y'all are going to go out there and go try and buy a vehicle anytime soon, Toyota and Subaru have a lower days supply, so even more challenging buying conditions. Doesn't mean you can't get a deal.
Because you still can.
We saw from Suzanne earlier. Here you go from David. $2,500 below MSRP on a RAV4 Prime. Holy
wow.
So like even on the brands that are contracting, you can get deals. What do you think you can do over at Volvo, Mazda, Hyundai, Kia, Ford? Obviously, we talk a lot about Stellantis, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, General Motors, Chevy products. Those are the areas where there's a real opportunity because the day supply continues to grow.
And, we don't talk about luxury brands often enough. BMW, I'm not sure what their day supply is, but they're rocking it. Lexus, we know they have a short day supply. They're rocking it. Acura has a reasonable day supply. They ain't rocking it this year. Okay, their sales are down. So if you're looking for a near luxury vehicle, I would think that there could be deals to be had at Acura because their sales are down, 15 to 20% year over year. Mercedes-Benz, their sales have slowed down to a certain degree. There are deals to be had on some of these luxury brands, including Lexus. What was that, honey?
Get the Target discount on this.
Well, it probably needs to be more.
Oh, man. That's on an A spec, but there's a 225 days supply in Troy, Michigan. Sorry to cut you off. I'll keep pulling more up.
No, that's, the point is that if you look at some brands, Ford sales year to date down, Kia sales year to date down, Acura sales year to date down. I think Mercedes sales are off somewhat. Those are clues, okay, for you as a customer as to where a deal might be able to be had. Okay, if there are dealers struggling because the demand just isn't there like it had been last year, well, they want to figure out a way to get those sales back up. When you sell cars for a living, you don't make any money if you don't sell cars for a living. So when sales are off, the salespeople will beg, borrow, and steal with their sales managers to get them to say yes to a deal. Come on, boss, it's been 3 days since I've sold a car. I got a wife and a baby at home. Yeah, rent's due. Okay, baby needs a new pair of shoes. Whatever it is, the salesperson, because even if it's a mini that they're getting paid, a minimum commission, they'd rather make that than zero. Okay, and when you're at a store where sales are off, where the brand is off, you're begging. So as a customer, that's go look for those brands that have been struggling, where sales are down year over year. I like that. Baby needs a new Rolex. Okay,
It's
but I,
sad, man. It's sad. It's yeah.
I'm telling you the mentality of, you know, and just for all our Princess Bride fans out, it's inconceivable that these salespeople aren't going to push as hard as they can push, both you as the customer, but more importantly, their sales managers, because most salespeople find it easier to close their sales manager than they do to close the customer. I'm just telling you how it works. Okay. The likelihood of getting a sales manager to say yes after you've spent 3 hours with a customer is a lot greater than getting the customer to finally acquiesce to the number that you want. So the salesperson is going to keep going back and hammering his sales manager and saying, "Come on, man, I've been with these peeps for 3.5 hours. Okay, if all I'm making is a minimum, I don't care. At least I'm making $50 an hour. If these people walk, I've made nothing. So please help me here, Mr. Sales Manager." Typically, the sales manager ultimately gives it.
It's incredible how this industry works. There's so much, just so much chaos when you're going to buy a car. From 9 Mil Norm, thanks for the contribution. Dealerships are advertising a price, and if you dig into the advertisement, it's for financing, and the real price is $4,000 higher for a cash price. Earlier this week, we helped someone on the show. We were looking at, wasn't it a Dodge Charger Road and Track?
Yes.
We went to the dealer website, incredibly aggressive price, and it
Yes.
had a $2,000 discount if you're financing and a $2,000 discount if you have a trade-in.
And just to back up what I was saying before, okay? Igor knows. I can't tell you how many times I used to tell my salespeople, "Do me a favor, go work your customer as hard as you're working me." And the truth of the matter was, the salesperson knew I eventually had to cave. I had to. Okay, that was my job. My job as the sales manager, as the new car manager, sell the damn inventory. They knew it. I knew it. They worked me. And we all in management always wished their salespeople would expend as much energy working the customers as they did working us.
A couple more comments in the chat here. We've got from Garrett. My local major Chevy dealer has 12% discounts advertised on their website. Could probably get a bit more if you were a serious buyer. Absolutely.
I would think you could.
Yeah. Advertised price on the website's just a starting place.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you could advertise a very cheap price and the customer's still going to walk in and want more. It's human nature. It's how it works. Okay. Now, it's up to the sales staff and the management team to build the case as to why they can't give more. You know, the typical line was always, "What do you think? I'd advertise my second best price? Do you really think I'd do that? Is that what I'm depending on to get you here?" No, I'm advertising my best price to get you here. Either you take advantage of it or you don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're sharing nuggets today, buddy, from the car business.
Now, some brands are going backwards. Edgar says, "I work for CDJR, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and they just got rid of the rebates for trucks. How do they expect customers to buy them now when they wouldn't buy them when they had $10,000 to $15,000 off?" Help us make this make sense.
Well, I can't help this make sense because, just using your brain, it doesn't make sense. If you couldn't sell the product, there was, I forget the gentleman's name, but there was a gentleman in Atlantic City. I've told this story before, and he sold art and brick, just all kinds of nonsense on the boardwalk, but he was very successful. And his theory was that if something hadn't sold and it was art related, he didn't reduce the price. His theory was that if it didn't sell, it's because it was priced too low. So he would raise the price so that some art lover would walk in and go, "Well, that's got to be pretty special at that price. I need to buy it." Okay. There's a reason it's so damn expensive. And that's great when it's limited artwork. Now, when you're producing, I don't know, a 500,000 Ram 1500 pickup trucks a year, that's not so limited. Okay. And if people wouldn't buy it at 15,000 off, I doubt that they're going to buy it, I don't know, at MSRP. Because they don't, it's not limited enough that they go, oh, yeah, right. That's got to be a hell of a steal at that price. I mean, they wouldn't be asking that much if it wasn't so damn special. So it depends on your perspective. But if you're selling mass market stuff like Ram 1500 pickup trucks, it's price that drives the equation, that gets a customer to say yes.
Yep.
So that when Stellantis says, we're done, there's no more incentives to the. Okay, you're just saying to your dealer, buddy, you're going to sit on these cars for a lot longer. Your floor plan costs are going to go up. And ultimately, we're just going to force you to eat the cost of all that. And you're going to decide you're better off selling it and losing $10,000 or $15,000 than to keep paying for it.
From Dantastic, what's the target discount on a cheap vehicle like the Chevy Trax? $1,000 under MSRP, $1,500 under MSRP.
Yeah, it's not like they have a big markup in those vehicles.
No, and they're selling fast, but we've done a few of those through the car buying service, the concierge service, $1,000, $1,500 below MSRP. From P. Burns, Zach or Ray, is this the regular start time now? No, I'm sorry, folks. We'll be back to regularly scheduled content on Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern time. I'm in a leadership training thing. It's my last day today. Really appreciate my dad starting early with me. And thank you to everyone that supports us, CarEdge.com. Lots of nuggets from my dad today. Every single thing that we have that's free is up here under resources. So please go click on all these various items and all sorts of great information there. The car search is free, of course, as well. Many of our car buying tools are free too. So that's how you can support us, is going back and checking out CarEdge.com. What are your Friday plans, Pops? I'm sorry I have to cut it early today again to go start at 9 a.m. here. But what are your Friday plans? What are you going to do to make yourself happy today?
I don't really have any plans. I have to do a super sticker. God bless Peggy. Justice is overwhelmed, so we're not doing the Unplugged Electric show today. I do have a phone call at 2:45. Other than that, I'm pretty open. Wait, I forgot. I'm doing laundry. I got to put stuff in the dryer. As soon as we're done here, I got stuff to put in the dryer. So
well, maybe now that Lisa's on the team, I'll get you and Lisa working together more, and she'll put you to work, man.
Yeah. I do have an interview with James Jones and Matt Ishbia for the Open Sons coaching position.
It's official, Budenholzer. It's official.
Oh, is it?
Yep, $10 million.
Well, there you have it.
Correct.
Oh, damn it! Maybe he wants me for his staff.
Peggy, thank you. Pops, take us home.
Thank you, Peggy. I need to get my bounces in. Thank you.
Folks, we will not be live tomorrow night over on the CarEdge channel. We will be back on Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Dad, I love you very much. I look forward to seeing you then, and I'm sure I will talk to you later on this afternoon.
Well, I hope so, and I love you as well. Have a great time in San Jose and wherever else you might venture forth today.
Love you. See you guys.
See you, everybody.